Hi there, I'm Michael Giblin with fiddlershop.com and welcome to the 2024 Fiddlerman Christmas Group Project. This is a tutorial on the second part. We're so excited that you've decided to be a part of the group project. This year we're working on the beautiful hymn, O Come, Emmanuel. And there's a lot of great things about this project. It's very beginner friendly. You can play everything in first position on open strings if you want, or you can choose some more sophisticated fingerings. There's a lot of shifting if you choose to. There's a lot of bow planning and sound production and sustaining things to work on. Intonation, of course, but also the benefit that you get from recording yourself and having the pressure and having to play along with the click track. A word about the click track, I'll get to it in a second, but the click track and all the sheet music that you're going to need is all in the description box below. It'll take you to fiddlerman.com with all the other uploading instructions and the deadlines. Yes, December 2nd is the deadline to upload your video, submit any recordings that you would like to be included. We're going to edit it all together into a giant virtual orchestra. It's going to sound magnificent. So some things just to get us all on the same page before I get into sort of the tutorial and demonstrate each part for you is that we want to tune to A440, just so that we're all on the same page, especially if you're using open strings, that we all sound nice. You have to use the click track, and so you have to use like an earbud or a headphones and on a second device because we don't want the two audio sources being recorded at the same time. When you film, please record in landscape mode, not in portrait mode, and try to get your whole face and instrument in the shot. And so maybe try to elevate the camera if you can. And so don't be too close to the camera. Likewise, don't be too far away from the camera or like only your hands. We want to see your face and beautiful expressions. And you're welcome to wear something festive if you'd like. This is my only time I wear this jacket all year. I think I wore it last time for the 2023 group Christmas project. So something fun. We're all about having a good time and making some beautiful music. I think, and let me see if there's any last instructions I wrote. You can, of course, submit multiple parts. So any part can be played on any instrument. It doesn't have to be the fourth part only for cello. And a word about the click track that you'll find again in the description box below is that it's a little active. It's a little bit of a rock beat for a piece is a little bit somber. So try to, you're going to have a little bit of inner conflict of playing nice and smoothly when you hear 1, 2, 3. I want you to set the scene for us. I want you to imagine you're, a Gregorian monk, and out of the darkness, out of the stillness, you're going to start, O come. It's a very long line, so please don't get carried away and playing, oh, come, very, following the beat a lot. It's very tempting. Even I felt that way. All right, so let's get into some of the specifics. The second part has some beautiful harmonies and some really interesting moving lines. I think you're really going to enjoy this part. Again, you can do this all in first position and using open strings, but if you'd like to work on some more sophisticated fingerings that kind of give you a chance to vibrate on some of these, open strings, on notes that would otherwise be open strings, I invite you to try these fingerings. But to get started, again, we're going to start from nothing, really, really gentle. It's beautiful because you're the only part that has those eighth notes on the fourth beat. Really let that decay and shift in the silence. So we're really going to decay, and that little mysterious at the end of the dotted half note is when you're going to shift in that silence. And so we're really going to go to that measure 7, really go. The decay again. And then so the idea is we always decay and then we start there and we go back. It's tempting to go da 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 ba ba da, and so how we're going to kind of avoid that is it's all in your right hand, right? We have to let off the gas and use more speed and not so much pressure all the time for when you have just these single quarter notes at the end of the measure. So in this measure 12, you need to start thinking about getting to the frog because you've got 7 beats of just down bow. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. And then here you're pretty much gonna there's gonna be some space or some silence before rejoice, rejoice. But this is a big moment here. And so I want to draw your attention to these two measures for a little bit. Just like I talked about in the first part, is that 1, 2, 3. You really, even though you have 3 beats, I really only want you to use about half the bow and save the other half of the bow for that last quarter note. Same thing here. Because there should be a little tenuto on those fourth beat, so there's 3. There's rejoice, rejoice, so Emmanuel. So all 3 of those pickup notes have need about half the bow for them. So that's a little bit of some interesting bow distribution problem to work on. Same thing again, and now. You can shift to third position, but this is also a great section that works well in second position. I don't always love second position. I know not very many people do, but this makes a lot of sense. It allows you to keep everything on the same string without overshifting and having to shift too far forward and too far backwards. So think about that. Otherwise, third position is fine. And then going on, so we are going to do the repeat. I'm going to skip it now for right now. But whatever fingering choice you decide to do for the first half, do the same thing in the second half because it's the same. It's basically the same material, just a fifth higher. So 1 string higher. Everything works the same. So you've got this sort of note. We're going to play C sharp. That is a transition. Now make sure your clear when you have to cross 2 strings here. So make sure this is a clean string crossing. That's a little bit of an interesting shift. You kind of shift down with your first finger if you choose to do this fingering choice, and then you replace it with the new finger. So eventually that sort of it speeds up and the gap closes. Same idea. You'll hear a little glissando there. Don't make it too romantic though. We don't want nothing cheesy like that. So again, in measure 35, be thinking, I got to get to the frog because there's a long down bow coming up. And then space. This is really the height of the piece right here. This is the climax. This last rejoice. Same thing. You can do second position here as well. It works nicely. Or you can bounce back and forth between first and third. Same kind of shift here again. Just really kind of try to disguise or hide your shifts in those bow changes and also string crossings. When you get to this last note, the click track is gonna stop abruptly, but you can kind of keep fading out into nothing and leave yourself some margin in your recording so that we can fade out everybody kind of nicely. So leave a good 5 to 10 seconds at the end. Don't trim your video, even though it'll save space in the uploading. It helps us keep everybody uniform. All right, do check out the other parts. We'd love to have you submit as many parts as you're able to. And remember, December 2nd is when we need everything submitted. So be well and practice well. And we'll see you soon.